Started with 500, on my way to a mil, closed over 100 deals. Can't change us. It's the game changers. It's the game changers.
You want to ask yourself every single day, am I doing everything possible to reach that goal? Don't get too far of yourself. Stay in the moment, stay grounded, and continue to push every single day. Welcome to the Game Changer Podcast. I'm your host, Elijah Bryant. We got a special guest with us today. We got Chris Bruce in the building.
Man, it's about time you bring me on here.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate being on here, bro. I'm ready to give your audience some game, talk about some things we've been working on.
Yes, sir. So let's bring him back. Where you from and talk about your upbringing.
So I'm from Detroit, Michigan, born and raised. Upbringing, middle class with my dad, more of a lower middle class with my mom. My dad was always an entrepreneur, but he always had a job as well too. So I kind of got the bug of real estate from him. You know,
What was he selling?
So he's always worked for the plant. You know, in Michigan, it's the big three. You got Chrysler, GM, Ford. So he always worked for Ford at the plant. So he always carried a job, but then he had a tax business, and he grew his tax business over 1,000 clients a year. He was doing good with that. And then he got into some renovating properties and stuff like that. So I got to see firsthand the entrepreneurship from him. But you know, mainly living with my mom, I saw the struggle. You know what I'm saying? She made things work with 3 kids, but you know, it was different. It was like I go to my dad's house. It's like, you know, he's doing really good, stuff like that. My mom, she made it like we were doing good, but then I talk to her now, like we really weren't. You know what I'm saying? Struggling, but that's the good thing about parents. You know what I'm saying, is that they don't let you see. You know what I'm saying? The good parents, they work hard, and you never see them sweat. You never see the struggles. You know what I'm saying? I thank my mom for that.
Yeah, shout out to moms. Did you have any jobs growing up?
So my dad, early on, he had me working into like the tax business. So I would go in there, file papers. Sometimes I would have to get on the calls, and not really get on calls too much, but just kind of shadow him on calls, I would say. But he always had me like filing papers and things like that. My very first job I ever got, I worked for a grocery store.
Like Publix?
Yeah, it was like a Publix.
Okay.
It was in Michigan. It's called Farmer Jack. And basically I had to like bag up groceries. You know, I get jealous of these people now because you know how like you go to Target or those places, they got like these things that can put all the carts together. And I had to do it one by one.
That's crazy.
In the snow. You know what I'm saying?
The struggle.
It was a struggle. But, you know, it taught me the importance of hard work and things like that. So that was my very first job. And then when I was 19, I actually had 3 jobs.
Dang.
Yeah.
Like what you was doing?
I worked at Ford Field, which is where the Lions play at. So I was in the back managing all the production of, I didn't say production, but managing all of the beverages and things that were going out. There were people that were selling in the stands. And then I had a job at Comerica Park, which was next door, which is the baseball stadium. So I used to have my own cotton candy stand I would run.
That's crazy.
Stands to sell that stuff.
I did Dippin' Dots at the Staten Island Yankee Stadium.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yep.
Yeah. So I did that, and then I worked for Marshalls. I used to like, you know, hang up clothes and, you know, do stuff.
Damn,
like that.
how you was doing all 3 of these?
Bro, I'm Jamaican, bro. So, you know, I just used to work hard. I worked the money, so I work. And you know, football's only 1 day a week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
true.
It's not that bad. So yeah, I was working 3 jobs. And then right in that time, I probably worked that maybe like a year. And then I moved to Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't go to college?
I did not. I went to like a community college for like, I don't know, 8 months or so. And then I moved here because my mother was like, I just want to move somewhere different. She was going through a breakup with my stepdad. And she just chose Tampa. We'd never been here before.
That's crazy.
She just like went on the map and was like, all right, let's go here. I'm like, all right, let's go. And then me and her moved down 4th of July, 2004.
And is this like after college or like?
Yeah,
before?
this is 19, about to turn 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're in Tampa. Like, how was
here.
that jump from going from the cold Michigan to the hot Tampa, Florida?
I would say this: I moved at the wrong time. Like, I moved and it was a whole bunch of hurricanes coming.
Dang.
Bro, it was like 3 hurricanes came that week there. So I'm staying in a hotel because we don't have a place to stay yet. And I'm in there with my mom nonstop. Like, you know, I love my mom, but at a point I'm like, I need to get out of this place. You know, but we dealt with it. And so,
what was those next steps to?
So what happened was this is a good and bad thing. So all the hurricanes were coming. We were stuck in the, you know, it was raining bad. We had to stuck in the hotel, stuff like that. She got a temp job. And the temp job was filing claims for the hurricanes, for like all the people that were having houses and, you know, damage and stuff like that. They had to file claims to get the repairs done. Well, we found a company where she could actually work for filing the claims and helping people. So she put me onto it. So, and the cool thing was, it was unlimited overtime.
Dang.
Yo, I used to work sometimes 8 in the morning to like 11 at night. I had no friends, so I was like, let's just get money.
Yeah.
I just worked like, you know, nonstop, and I worked so much. I had like 1 or 2 friends here, and I didn't really go out too much, but then I made a good amount of money. I flew my friends from Detroit back down here, and we went out, and then actually I ran into like one of my friends from back in the day, and then after that, then I started hanging out and stuff like that.
Is that how you got into real estate, or how'd you get into real estate now?
So fast forward 2006, because I was 21. 2006, I actually bought my first rental property in Detroit.
How much you pay for that?
That one was 90 grand. I did a loan. But that was when anybody could get a house.
Yeah.
You know, they was like, yo, you got a pulse? Okay, we get a house, go ahead. You know. So that was the housing bubble. I bought my first property on Beaconsfield Street, east side of Detroit. I had to rent it out. Things was going good. A year later, so I had rented out to one of my homies that I kind of grew up with or whatever.
Yeah.
Bro. First off, I didn't know he sold dope. So I get a call from my cousin like, yo, like Rome just got popped. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, this is and that. Long story short, he died.
Damn.
So now I have a rental property, nobody in it. I'm paying his mortgage, which is like $600 a month. Trying to manage stuff here, bills here. And then the market crashed. So I just let it go. Just let it foreclose on.
And that was the first real estate.
The first real estate. Then I was like, I'm done with real estate. Don't even ask me about anything. Because at the time, the reason why I bought it, because during that time was when you could buy a home for, let's say, whatever the price is, but then you would take you would agree for one price, but then the mortgage would actually be higher, and you would take the equity out and pocket it. So I pocketed 11 grand when I bought it. So for me at the time, I'm like, yo, 11 bands, like that's a lot of money. I never had that amount of money in my life. But that money didn't last long, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got to foreclose on.
So is this now you know, messed up on that first rental, right?
Credit messed up, everything.
I'm done with real estate.
I'm done.
Now, how do you get into wholesaling?
Good question. So fast forward 2009, I had my first kid, my daughter. And you know, I was working a job, making like $12 an hour. I'm like, dang, I need to figure something else out. You know, it's that burning was like, that burning desire. Like, I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I'm not meant to work for somebody. Yeah. But my pockets didn't reflect that yet. So I'm like, all right. So then I happened to go on like Facebook, and there's this guy on there, and he talking my language. He like, yo, you know, no job. Then I found out he lived here in Tampa. He driving a 745 Beamer. He going to the motorcycle, cashing out, buying motorcycles, hopping on private jets, just doing exactly what I want to do. So I'm like, man, I got to figure out a way to get his course. So I asked my daughter's mom, like, yo, we need to buy. This was when there was no online courses. Everything was workbooks, DVDs. They would mail you the course.
Damn, he said DVDs.
Yeah, it was DVDs, but like, think about how long, when's the last time you popped the DVD in?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, we got to get this course. But it was $1,000. And I'm like, yo, I ain't got it.
Yeah.
So I begged her. She believed in me. So she went ahead and she paid $1,000 on the credit card. Stuff came in the mail. And it was teaching you how to flip bank-owned properties. Okay. Getting the foreclosure. So it made sense for me because I'm like, I just foreclosed on my property 2 years ago. Yeah. So I'm like, if I would have known this information, I could have saved myself from that. So that's why it just made a lot of sense. So I'm like, all right, I'll go ahead and then I went to work, but it didn't work out as good as I thought it was going to.
What you mean by that?
Bro, Man, listen, man. I'm glad I grew up in the church because if I didn't keep my faith, man, I would have been gave up, bro. So the whole course was about basically going out, finding realtors, and just putting in offers. So no marketing, no cold calling, no direct mail, none of that. It was just find a realtor, find some properties that foreclosed on as REO, and then put offers in. I put 26 properties under contract. Had to back out every single one of them.
Damn.
One of them, I almost lost my deposit. Like, so this is the thing.
Wait, tell me, you said
26, bro.
Individual deals.
26 individual deals. I'm talking about under contract. All I gotta do is find a buyer, and I mess up at that point 26 times.
And this is 26 different sellers?
These are banks that I'm dealing with.
Oh, okay.
So I'm messing up relationships with banks. I'm messing up relationships with the REO manager. All these people I'm messing relationships because I had a strategy. I was like, okay, with REO properties, you got to have a deposit. At least $1,000 typically. I don't have $1,000. So what I would do is I would go write a check for $1,000, take a picture, send it to them, be like, yeah, it's in the mail, it's on the way. And I would put a property under contract on a Thursday or Friday, so I got the whole weekend to market, try to find a buyer. Most of the mistakes that I was making was pricing too high.
Yeah.
In the wrong area.
Yep.
Just not knowing comps and stuff like that. Just not following exactly what the course said.
So you got 26 that failed. What kept you going for that 27th try? So
in the midst of doing that is when the guy that was my mentor that built the course, he always talked about personal development. And he was talking about reading books, and I'm like, bro, I haven't read since like high school. Like, I'm not really into all that. But then I was like, you know what? He's rich, I'm not. So what I'm doing is not working. And so that's what I got introduced to. They Can Grow Rich. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I started reading, and I started realizing that a lot of them have the same journey, far as you got to go up a lot of different failures before, you know what I'm saying, you can actually get to that success. And he always would say that there's a mountaintop, and most people, if they knew that they're that close to get over the mountaintop, all the money is, they would keep going. But most people get about right here and they give up. And so for me, I was like, this is a part of my story. You know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to give up. I'm not gonna lie. I had, my daughter's mama in my ear. I had my mama's in my ear. My friends, they like, bro, I don't know, man.
This ain't working.
This ain't working, bro. You might want to. But I always was a person that if I put something into it, I got to get something out of it. Like if I invest my money or my time, which is more important than money because you can get the time back, I got to go get something out of it. And then if I don't like what I got out of it, then I'll just say, all right, well, I'm not doing that anymore. So fast forward, I finally get the first deal. Man, it was only $5,000, but to me that was like $1 million, bro.
Yeah.
You know how it is when you close your first deal, bro. It's like, man, it's just like a reality check for me. That's what it was. Like I filmed the whole thing, going to the title company, like it was just like, it really felt like it was $1 million. I'm sure didn't you feel the same way when you was there?
It felt amazing. Like that first day, I remember I was in my grandmother's garage, like happy tears, because I finally did it, especially when you're going through a struggle. So what was your biggest deal?
Man, biggest deal, it was $42,000. $42,000.
Is this like around the time when you first started, or
No. This time I had an actual team behind me, so I can't even take credit for negotiating. Shout out to Mike, my sales guy. Mike was the person that negotiated the deal. But yeah, it was crazy. Like this was a deal in 2018, I believe. Yeah, 2018. We ended up. It was a text. We sent out a text to a guy. He was interested, and we ended up locking up the deal. I can't remember the exact numbers. It was in the hundreds. If I can't remember exactly, I don't even remember exactly where the address is. But long story short, this is when I started learning how to sell properties on MLS. So he locked the deal up, and then what I did was I went on flatfee.com and then I listed the deal, and oh my gosh, bro, it was like
so many people was calling.
Oh man, it was so many people.
Yeah.
And so I had learned this strategy from this guy, Alex Pardo. He taught me how to basically do auction style. So he
with
said,
the MLS?
With the MLS.
How'd you do this?
I'm gonna show you let me break this down. So he showed me how to basically go in. Shout out to Alex Pardo, man. He gave me that play. But what you do is you would go on MLS, you would list it, and you would get all these people that are interested and stuff like that. And then what I did is I said, listen, I don't have a lot box for it. I'm gonna do a showing on Saturday at 1. So I had all the buyers come in at the same time. We showed the property. And then when one person came in and said, oh, I can offer this, we was like, oh, this person said this much. And I got this guy to go up over $7,000.
Damn.
Yeah, $7,000 over listing price. And he was over everybody else's. And that's how we ended up making so much money on the deal.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I'm using the MLS now.
Okay, good.
So with land, how can I kind of...
Hey, I don't know how I can imagine everybody sitting around some dirt. Like, yeah, bro, how much you gonna pay for it? Yeah, so
but what I'm gonna say is probably like, you know, we got offers for this price, a little bit over. See if they'll buy it.
I can do that. Because, you know, if they're really interested in somebody else's, you know, they'll pay more.
Okay. So now you teaching, right? You have a whole education platform. How did that come about?
Yeah, so I actually started teaching kind of somewhat fast. I mean, I taught like some people that I knew early on, and I didn't charge them or nothing like that. But 2013, I was like, you know what? I really want to take this teaching stuff serious. I was making a little money here and there from teaching. And it was basically what happened was I was living a life. I went from having no money in 2010, being broke, losing my car, repossessed, all type of stuff, to 2011, making my first $100,000. And so then I started like traveling and I started showing people my lifestyle, not doing it to show off, but just people were just seeing I was going to different places.
Yeah.
And so that attracted people to me. I started a YouTube channel. Fast forward 2013, when I was like, all right, I'm gonna really take the education stuff serious. I found out how much my mentor made selling me and other people's stuff. He was making like $10 million a year. So I was like, all right, well, you know, this education stuff might be profitable, it's fun. It can also help, you know, other people. So I took it serious 2013. It was some struggles learning stuff. I paid mentors, things like that. And then 2014, I had a full-force education business. So, you know, we were bringing on roughly about like 800 customers a year. I had mentorship programs, things like that. And then as I kept growing, I kept paying more mentors. You know, I know you talk about that a lot with people, the importance of mentorship and things like that.
Yep.
And that's how it was for me. Every step I was like, man, I'm stuck on this. I don't know how to hire teams. Okay, well, I paid this guy $15,000. I don't know how to reach $1 million. I paid this guy $30,000. He got me to $1 million. So it's like every single time I just paid mentors to learn what they knew so that I could learn to educate and get that much better.
You know, because I'm watching this from New York, because the first person I ever heard about wholesaling houses was Mark Whitten on the Breakfast Club interview.
Yeah.
Second person was Jay Morrison talking about it.
Okay.
And then you was the third person.
Oh, wow.
And I remember you had a podcast. I remember one of the first podcasts I watched was with you and Gabe. And him talking about how he made $20K. And now Gabe, shout out to Gabe because he do land now.
Yeah.
But now I remember when I even came down here, I'm like, all right, I got to get close to you. You know, all the top people,
Right.
especially, you know, African-American that's doing this business.
Yeah.
So I remember one time we in the club. Well, you're in the club.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm just there, right? You got the section lit. You know, you having a great time. And I remember being around your section at the time. And Swag Surf came on. And I'm not sure if you remember this.
I don't remember. I probably was drunk. I don't know who was going on.
Swag Surf came on and then we just locked arms.
Okay.
And we just swag surfing. So it's crazy now because I say that to say this, like, I have an education business.
Right.
And you helped me a lot with that. So coming out here and seeing you grow and build your education, that put a lot of faith in myself and you.
Right. Okay.
And helping me build this out. So I guess from your side, your perspective, how did we kind of connect?
I got a good story about that. There's probably only, honestly, like maybe 2 or 3 people that even know this. So I'll tell it on here live, exclusive, on the podcast. So, being in the teaching of the wholesaling and things like that, I was making very good money, 1.5 a year. It was cool. But I got kind of just got, I don't want to say bored, but just got tired. After teaching for so long and just got tired. And so anyways, I started getting into teaching people how to create courses and things like that. And, I know we linked in, we built the funnels and stuff for you and you made decent money, last year on your own selling it. And then I think around December, I kind of was like, wanted to get back into teaching wholesaling again. Like I took a whole year off and then I was like, I might get back into teaching. And then it was just so many signs that was just like, it's not you no more. Yeah. You don't got it no more. You just let it go. Yeah. And something told me to reach out to you. It hasn't been just God for real, because like it just came into my mind. It was like, let me see what Elijah's doing. And I hit you up and I was like, I just had a feeling that you was like kind of letting it go. Yeah. Something told me was like, because I remember going to Instagram, I would see you have content on all the time. And so all this content I'm seeing, every single week from you, and all of a sudden I'm like, I don't really see much. And so I felt like, I was like, I think he's just kind of chilling, or he's probably more focused on the land business, and I respect it. So I was like, let me reach out to you, and I hit you up, and I was like, I know I can make this guy 7 figures. Like I know I can do it with my eyes closed, but I don't really want to do it myself. Like I really want to just like give you the business more so. So what I wanted to do originally was like, yo, if you pay me this amount of money, I'll build you the whole blueprint and I'm gonna give you this business. Like I'm gonna give you everything you need. Just follow all these steps and you'll make 7 figures. And I tried to pitch that to you and you was like, nah. I think you'll work harder if we become partners. And I'm like, I don't want to become partners. Like I had no ounce of want to be an agency. And I think it was just because I worked with other agencies and I felt like some of them didn't work hard. Like they had bigger clients that had bigger budgets and stuff like that. And so I just never wanted to do that. Yeah. And when you told me, I'm like, man. So I'm like, I'm just gonna throw something out there. If you take it, all right, fine. And I'm like, I'm not really interested in that, honestly. And then he was like, can I be honest with you? And I was like, what? He was like, I think you'd work harder if we became partners. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say shout out to you, bro, because honestly, you helped me make the birth of my agency. You know what I'm saying? For real. I first started working together. I started working with other clients. We got 10 clients right now. And honestly, what happened if it wasn't for you, because I did not want to create this business.
That's wild. I didn't even know this.
That's what I said. I know you. This is the first time I'm telling you. I had no intentions on creating a business like that at all. Wow. But because we did it, we had success. We still have success. It's, created a whole nother company for me. So I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. And I remember at this point, because that was like a tough decision, right? But in my mindset was like, I still want to do this land business. Right. And it's hard to focus on helping others and focus on building out your own business. So I'm like, if we partner together, at least 50% of that work, I don't have to worry about. So I could still focus on my land business. And honestly, it's working out perfectly because now I'm getting deals from people, within the education business and still closing my own deals. So it's like, it works perfectly.
It is. And that's why I commend you, because that's the struggle with most people. It's like you said, it's very hard to juggle both. Most people have to decide, you're going to either teach or you're going to do. But you can't do both and have both of them wildly successful unless you have a team and partners and things around you. It's just too challenging. Yeah.
So one of the things that I feel like we did that a lot of people don't do is take a leap of faith in ourselves. Yeah. So one of the things you was telling me, you was like, yo, you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to network. You have to go to these events. You have to put yourself out there more. So we decided on going to London, Paris, to meet EYL. Shout out to, Rashad and Troy, right? And Master Investor. So you want to tell the story or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, well, you know what? I want to hear from your point of view because I never heard it from your point of view.
Okay, so, we go out there. We started off in Amsterdam, right?
Amsterdam, yep.
So we started off in Amsterdam, but our main focus for the trip is London, meeting them at their market world tour, right? So we get there, and it's crazy because when we get there, like people's coming up to talk to us. They see us with the Rolex. They thinking like we speaking, right? But nah. So we're telling people we're from the States and we came out to meet them. So now after the show was packed, a great show, but we didn't get to meet them. So it's kind of discouraging. Like, damn, we came all this way and we didn't even get to see them. So now we're going from London to Paris, right? The train. So we get off the train in Paris and we're all like right in front of Paris. Like we just got off and your brother, he sees Ian, Master Investor, and he just goes up to him and is like, networking.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy because Ian's brother, he bought your course years ago.
Yeah, that's right. He did say that. Yeah,
So I think when he mentioned you, like,
right.
yo, Chris, I bought your course. It was great.
Yeah.
I saw Ian's eyes. It lit up. Like, oh, these is like respectable brothers,
Right.
Right. So then from there, now later that day, we're going to a club that's like real popping in Paris. Like, I remember, hella expensive, right? So we get out the Uber, and right in front is Ian, Troy, and Rashad, right there. And when we walked over, Ian saw us and he lit up again.
Yeah.
So it made us like I think in their eyes, like Rashad and Troy, like, oh snap, who are these people? So now we finally got to meet them, and kind of like mission complete.
Right.
For that whole trip. So it's crazy how that happened.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because I remember when we were trying to make the decision if we were gonna go to Rome instead.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know what, maybe we should go there. And then I was like, I think because it's Fashion Week in Paris, they gotta be there. They're gonna have to be in Paris. And we're gonna run into them. And I'm so glad we made the decision. And we took the train.
We wasn't gonna do that.
So it just worked out perfectly because I had met them in passing a couple times, but not like how we wasn't like in Paris. Like, so yeah, it was cool. And I told you, I think that because later on I ran into them and chopped it up with them at their event. So I think that like you said, take a leap of faith, go in different places. What I realized is that people respect people that move around. Most people can't afford to go to something and go to London or nothing like that. So when they see you from America, you buy a ticket and you come all the way to London, like they getting some paper. They doing something. They doing something.
We in the same club as them.
You know what I'm saying?
And there was elite people in there. There was rappers. Kyle Kuzma right next to us popping bottles. Yeah. Like, so, and then another thing that I think Rashad said on the world tour was when you're meeting people, you meet people around 5 times before you build that connection.
Absolutely.
So the fact that we got, well, at least me, first time meeting them in a different country, who knows what happens from that?
Absolutely.
So it was a beautiful thing that we took that leap of faith.
It's going to be a full circle when they bring you on the show.
Yup.
You can tell that story.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So another thing that I feel like has been a game changer, and it's going to be a game changer, is this AI bot that we're implementing into the land business and real estate in general. So you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So just understanding that the AI right now is, we're going through what the .com bubble went through, what the housing bubble went through. There's always a significant time where there's something that's created that changes the world forever, right? And the people that are early adopters of it, if they get on it, they're going to become millionaires. They're going to become billionaires. Right now, I just saw an article that Apple is putting $1 billion into investing in AI. If Apple, which is the richest country, one of the richest companies, if not the richest company in the U.S., is putting $1 billion behind it, that's something that's telling you something.
Exactly.
So again, we're in that times where this is the early adoptions. A lot of people still don't believe in it. They don't understand it. So the thing about it is that we realize that, you know, there's challenges right now with marketing when it comes to finding deals. You know, text messages, they're adding all these different regulations and things like that, right? You know, with outbound calling, nobody wants to do it. Let's be real.
For real. I hate it.
Let's just be real.
8 hours a day?
Like, we tell people to do it, but we don't really want to do it.
Right.
But it does make money, right? Period. It's one of the fastest ways you get a deal. So the thing about it is, like, when I saw the opportunity for us to, you know, not only, like you said, have it built for your own business, but then we can also duplicate this for other people, especially newbies that are coming in. You know, they work a job, they got family to take care of, all these different things that they have on their plate. Sometimes it's not even that they don't want an outbound call, they just don't have the time.
Yeah.
Because, you know, realistically, you need to be putting in tons of calls, hundreds of calls a day if you want to get the deal, right? Especially if you're trying to get that first one, to get the momentum going. So when I saw the opportunity to build something like this and for us to have it where we could offer this to, you know, your customers, I'm like, we have to do it.
Yeah.
So I spent like the whole time I was in Asia, people thought I was just like, you know, traveling and just doing whatever, but I was working, you know what I'm saying, too. So I remember when I was in Asia, I was building everything, just testing it, building it. And then, you know, we came together, put the play together, and now it is official. We have it in the Land Your First Deal course now.
It's up and active, y'all.
Yeah, so like, you guys can get it, man. It's a game changer.
And why I feel like it's going to be a game changer, like you said, nobody wants to call 8 hours a day. Let's be real, right? So having this bot cold calling for you is going to save you time, but not only that, you get to close out the deals. So now you could just focus on the money-making activities.
Right.
That's what you want to do in order to scale your business. You don't want to just 1 deal, 2 deals. Nah, I want 5 to 10 a month. Now with this AI bot, it's going to help that. So make sure y'all tap in, all right?
Yeah, listen, and we got to upload it in Land Your Deal course. We completely have, you know, gave all the scripts. We got all of the rebuttals, everything that's programmed in for you guys so they can literally start dialing within 10 minutes of you following the training and building everything out. I mean, and this thing, we've practiced 5,600 calls, recorded all of the calls, went through about 3,000 of them. Not one person has been able to notice there's a bot. Not one person.
That's the game changer. She sounds so human.
So human, to the point that the other day, I was listening to a recording. This guy picked up the call and he was telling the bot, I apologize. I heard a beeping noise in the background. I'm like, what? He was at the hospital about to have labor with his wife. And he was talking. And the bot even congratulated him on being a father.
Wow.
That's how smart this thing is.
Dang, so that's something you didn't even like program.
No, you don't program that. It
just picks up.
It picks up. Like the other day, a guy had called and he had a baby crying and he was talking about his baby hurt, and it even asked like, hey, is your baby okay? Damn. I don't program that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this thing is like a human.
Yeah.
Literally. So the output that it would take for one person to do that many calls, to handle inbound calls, it thing can send out text messages at the same time. It can send an email out. It can send a contract out. It can end up transferring a call over. I mean, it's.
And this is the perfect time to get it because it's brand new.
Absolutely.
So if you could learn this, if you could master this, this is a way that you could get in right now. If you're brand new, learn this and run up a bag because nobody really is doing this yet.
Yep.
You want to be the first one to it. All right. So where can the viewers follow you at?
Yeah, most people can just follow me on Instagram, Detroit Mogul. Just tap in with me on there and you know, shoot me a DM or whatever.
Yes, sir. And if you guys want to flip land, I want you guys to text land at 813-387. Do that over. 813-687-8867. Game changers. That was lit.
Yeah.